Hello and welcome to MRCPsych on the Go Revision Essentials. My name is Dr. Alapis Ehrlicher and I'm a psychiatry trainee in the west of Scotland. Like many of you, I spent a lot of time commuting. This was valuable time that I could have spent revising for the MRCPsych examination. And so, I've started this podcast to help you revise on the go. Each episode breaks down one high-yield topic mapped to the syllabus. This is then followed by 5 questions to help reinforce your learning. So, grab your headphones, turn travel time into revision time, and let's get started. In episode 19, we explored intrinsic motivation, curiosity, and optimum levels of arousal. This included the Yerkes-Dodson law and self-determination theory. In this episode, we turn to 2 further motivational concepts. First, cognitive consistency. This explains how individuals are motivated to maintain harmony between their beliefs and actions. Second, the need for achievement. This describes the desire to excel, succeed, and master challenges. Cognitive consistency refers to the tendency of individuals to seek harmony between their beliefs, attitudes, and behaviours. When inconsistency arises between these elements, people experience psychological discomfort. They are then motivated to restore consistency. The most influential theory in this area is cognitive dissonance theory. It was proposed by Leon Festinger in 1957. Festinger was an American social psychologist born in New York. He trained under Kurt Lewin, one of the founding figures of social psychology. Festinger's interest in dissonance was sparked by a curious case. He and his colleagues studied a religious cult whose members believed the world would end on a specific date. When the predicted apocalypse did not arrive, the members did not abandon their beliefs. Instead, many became more convinced and more vocal in their faith. Festinger realised that people do not simply update their beliefs when faced with contradictory evidence. Instead, they find ways to resolve the discomfort this creates. This observation became the foundation of cognitive dissonance theory. Cognitive dissonance refers to the discomfort experienced when an individual holds 2 or more conflicting cognitions simultaneously. A cognition in this context refers to any belief or perception about oneself or the world. For example, a person who smokes cigarettes may simultaneously believe that smoking causes serious harm. These 2 cognitions are inconsistent with one another. The resulting dissonance motivates the individual to reduce the conflict. Remember, cognitive dissonance refers to the discomfort experienced when an individual holds conflicting cognitions. It motivates behaviour aimed at restoring consistency. Festinger proposed that individuals use several strategies to reduce cognitive dissonance. First, changing one of the conflicting cognitions. For example, the smoker may decide to quit. This brings their behaviour into line with their belief about harm. Second, adding new cognitions that justify the inconsistency. For example, the smoker may tell themselves that smoking reduces stress. This provides a rationalisation for continuing the behaviour. Lastly, reducing the importance of one of the conflicting cognitions. For example, the smoker may minimise the health risks of smoking. They might tell themselves that many smokers live long, healthy lives. The strategy chosen depends on the relative importance of the cognitions involved. It also depends on how easily each cognition can be changed. Remember, cognitive dissonance can be reduced by changing a cognition, adding a justifying cognition, or minimizing the importance of the conflict. cognitive dissonance has important clinical applications. It helps explain why individuals may resist changing health-damaging behaviours. This includes smoking and excessive alcohol use. Even when they are aware of the risks, the discomfort of change may feel greater than the discomfort of the behaviour itself. Dissonance reduction strategies, such as rationalisation and minimisation, can sustain harmful behaviours. They temporarily resolve the psychological discomfort without requiring real change. Motivational interviewing is a therapeutic approach that directly engages with cognitive dissonance. By exploring the gap between a patient's values and their current behaviour, it encourages individuals to resolve the dissonance through behaviour change rather than rationalisation. Remember, cognitive dissonance helps explain resistance to behaviour change. It is directly relevant to motivational interviewing in clinical practice. The need for achievement refers to the desire to accomplish difficult tasks, meet high standards, and outperform others. It was studied extensively by the American psychologist David McClelland. He spent much of his career at Harvard University. McClelland was fascinated by what separates individuals who strive for excellence from those who are content with less demanding goals. His work drew on Henry Murray's earlier theory of psychological needs. Murray had proposed that human behaviour is driven by a range of underlying needs. McClelland refined and extended this framework, focusing particularly on the social motives that drive achievement and leadership. McClelland described the need for achievement as one of three core social motives. He called this the three needs theory or learned needs theory. The need for achievement refers to the desire to excel and succeed. The need for affiliation refers to the desire for warm, close interpersonal relationships. And the need for power refers to the desire to influence, lead, and control others. McClelland proposed that individuals differ in the relative strength of these motives. These differences shape career choices, leadership styles, and interpersonal behaviour. Remember, McClelland described three social motives: the need for achievement, the need for affiliation, and the need for power. Individuals with a high need for achievement show several characteristic patterns of behaviour. They tend to prefer tasks of intermediate difficulty. Tasks that are too easy offer no real sense of accomplishment. Tasks that are too difficult offer little chance of success. Tasks of moderate challenge offer the greatest opportunity to demonstrate skill and effort. They show a preference for personal responsibility. They want their success or failure to depend on their own efforts, not on luck or external factors. They also seek feedback on their performance. This allows them to assess progress and adjust their efforts accordingly. McClelland assessed the need for achievement using the thematic apperception test. In this test, individuals are shown ambiguous images and asked to describe what is happening. The person projects their own subconscious preoccupations into the stories they carve. The stories they generate are then analysed for achievement-related themes. For example, characters striving to reach goals, overcoming obstacles, or working hard to succeed. Remember, individuals high in need for achievement prefer tasks of intermediate difficulty, value personal responsibility, and seek performance feedback. John Atkinson built on McClelland's work via his expectancy value theory. He proposed that achievement motivation involves a conflict between two opposing tendencies. The hope of success refers to the desire to approach achievement tasks. It is associated with the positive emotions that come from succeeding. The fear of failure refers to the tendency to avoid achievement tasks. It is associated with wanting to escape the negative emotions linked to failing. Individuals in whom hope of success is stronger tend to engage with challenging tasks. They persist in the face of difficulty. Individuals in whom fear of failure is stronger tend to avoid challenging tasks. They may choose very easy or very difficult goals. Easy goals guarantee success. Very difficult goals provide a ready excuse for failure. In both cases, genuine effort and personal risk are avoided. The ego is protected. The balance between these two tendencies influences task choice, effort and persistence. Remember, achievement motivation reflects a tension between hope of success, which promotes approach, and fear of failure, which promotes avoidance of challenging tasks. The need for achievement is clinically relevant in several ways. A high need for achievement can be a source of resilience and motivation. It can support recovery and rehabilitation by encouraging individuals to set and work towards meaningful goals. However, when combined with a high fear of failure, it may contribute to perfectionism, anxiety, and burnout. The individual strives intensely, but is paralysed by the fear of not meeting their own high standards. Understanding a patient's achievement motivation can help clinicians tailor therapeutic goals. It can also help identify patterns of avoidance or excessive striving that may be maintaining distress. Now, let's test your recall. I will read out 5 exam-style questions. After each one, I will pause for 10 seconds so you can attempt them before hearing the answer. Question 1. What is cognitive dissonance? The discomfort experienced when holding 2 or more conflicting cognitions simultaneously. Question 2. Who proposed cognitive dissonance theory? Leon Festinger. Question 3. In Atkinson's theory, why might a student with a high fear of failure actually choose a task that is impossible to complete? By choosing a task they are guaranteed to fail, they protect their ego. If they fail, it's because the task was impossible, not because they lack ability. This is called self-handicapping. Question 4. What 3 social motives did McClelland describe? The need for achievement, the need for affiliation, and the need for power. Question 5. What 2 opposing tendencies did Atkinson propose in achievement motivation? Hope of success and fear of failure. Let's summarise what we've learned today. Cognitive consistency refers to the tendency to seek harmony between beliefs, attitudes, and behaviours. Festinger's cognitive dissonance theory proposes that inconsistency between cognitions creates psychological discomfort. Individuals reduce this discomfort by changing beliefs, adding justifications, or minimizing the conflict. The need for achievement, studied by McClelland, describes the desire to excel and succeed. It is one of three social motives, alongside the need for affiliation and the need for power. Atkinson extended this model by proposing that achievement motivation reflects a tension between hope of success and fear of failure. We've seen how our individual drives for success, power, and connection shape our lives. But are these drives just part of our personality? Or are they part of a much larger ladder of human survival? Join us in the next episode as we climb Maslow's hierarchy of needs to find out. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of MRCPsych on the Go Revision Essentials. I hope this episode helped to move your revision forward. If you have any questions or just want to continue the discussion, you can find me on LinkedIn at MRCPsych on the Go, spelled MRCPysch on the go. This podcast is about making revision accessible. If you found it useful, liking and sharing it with others helps the goal more than anything else. That's it for today. I'm Dr. Alapis Ehrlicher, and as always, keep revising on the go.